Hello and welcome to the ride. There are two bridges on my route today. Tempsford Bridge in Bedfordshire on the Great North Road, that's for later, and Great Barford Bridge, also in Bedfordshire, which I'm about to approach just now. There it is coming up ahead. It's an old and narrow bridge and included on John Carey's route between Oxford and Cambridge in his new itinerary of Great Roads of 1815. You can see from the traffic that it's still well used to this day. Here we go, over the River Great Ouse. You can see the village of Great Barford up ahead, the church in the distance, and in front a popular pub called the Anchor. I'm parking just up ahead on a road called New Road. There's the bridge. Not the best side for viewing, and the light isn't helping. I'll take a look from the other side soon. This was the highest navigable point on the River Great Ouse for a long time, for small cargo boats coming in from the coast, and at one time there was a wharf here, hence the name of the pub, the Anchor. This is the bridge from the other side. A much clearer view. The bridge and causeway were built largely of stone in the 1400s, with some clever brick-built widening in the 19th century. You can see how the Victorians kept the essential stone structure of the medieval bridge whilst building up and outwards to add extra width to the roadway above. Of course, they could never have anticipated the motor traffic that has used the bridge since. But there it is, still functioning. The daffodils let you know that I'm here in early spring. There's a close-up showing the 15th century stone bridge and the Victorian brick additions. Back on my Royal Enfield Classic 500, I'll continue along this dead straight road, which I said earlier is called New Road. New because it was new when constructed in the late 18th century at the height of the stagecoach era. The new road took the traffic off Great Barford's High Street. Yes, traffic problems 200 plus years ago. And I've arrived in the village of Roxton. And it's towards the Great North Road that I'm heading now to see another old bridge, the Tempsford Bridge, just north of the village of Tempsford on the A1 Great North Road near the Black Cat roundabout, for those that know it. You've probably crossed it many times and never given it a second thought. This is School Lane, and that's on the right there. We've just passed it. Still a school, a functioning academy these days. This School Lane is a strange road. The road clearly shows on Victorian Ordnance Survey maps running from Roxton to the Great North Road, but the current OS map designates it as a track with footpath right-of-way. I suppose there's a view that its use shouldn't be encouraged. Nevertheless, it looks like a road and is in fact well surfaced. So I'll carry on. There's the traffic on the A1, Great North Road, to be seen up ahead. Crossing the busy A1 to view the bridge here is a small challenge in its own right, and I suppose holds the reason why just being here is discouraged by the maps. It's all about timing. Here's a gap in the traffic, let's go. Immediate left and then immediate right. And into Kelpie's boatyard, where my map research tells me there should be a good view of the Tempsford Bridge. This boatyard on the River Great Ouse is its own little lost world, enclosed by the separate carriageways of the Great North Road. There are riverboats all around in various states of repair. It has its own special charm. The bridge was completed in 1820. Not nearly as old as Great Barford Bridge, but for me more impressive because of the job it still does, carrying all the traffic on the northbound carriageway of the Great North Road. There was a ford recorded here in the 10th century. By the 1600s, increasing river traffic to Great Barford meant the ford was becoming impractical. In 1736, a turnpike trust built a 6-arch wooden bridge across the Great Ouse at Tempsford, but by 1814 the wooden bridge was described as in great decay, broken and ruinous, and by 1820 it was replaced by the stone bridge we've just seen. As I leave, you can see the concrete bridge built in 1961 to allow for the dualling of the road. That carries these days the southbound traffic. Okay, it's back to the Great North Road. The light wasn't brilliant again at this side of the river, so I'm going to ride around to a place where I can take a better look at the bridge, hopefully giving me a better view. Okay, it's back to the Great North Road. I've ridden around to give me a ride northbound on the Great North Road A1, this time just south of Kelpie's boatyard, on the stretch which bypasses the village of Tempsford itself. The A1 used to pass down the high street of the village until this bypass was built in 1961. I'm looking for another pub, also called the Anchor, on the left. There's a footpath behind it which will take me to the bridge. That looks like an old school building on the left. Probably once the village school of Tempsford. And there's the Anchor coming up. Built on the road in 1831 to pick up business from passers-by, stagecoaches and the like. Remember, this was just before the Victorian railway boom. I've slowed it down so you can take a look, because my battery ran out just as I was entering the car park. However, freshly batteried, I joined the footpath behind the pub. Now, these days, a private club. The white cottage you may just glimpse further on is the old 17th century anchor pub. I wish I'd kept my camera running, but you just can't film everything. So after a short walk, there it is. The Tempsford Bridge, a much clearer view from this side. There it is in all its glory, still carrying the heavy traffic that its builders could never possibly have imagined in their wildest dreams. Lovely stonework, glorious wide, shallow arches. What a gem of a bridge. Form and function in perfect harmony. The bridge is mostly constructed of dressed sandstone quarried at nearby Sandy, but the cutwaters, arches and south face band of the river bridge are of Bramley Fall stone, Bramley being a district of Leeds in Yorkshire. You can just make out Kelpie's boatyard through the arches where I stood earlier. There's another part of the floodplain with some small arches to let water through, built with the same stone. And there's the Tempsford Bridge again. Perhaps I shouldn't be so surprised that the old bridge is bearing such a heavy load of traffic. There are probably many such examples of old bridges adapting to the modern world in this way, but it still strikes me as rather amazing that a bridge built for stagecoaches is now bearing the load of 40-ton lorries day in, day out and into the foreseeable future. Now it's my turn. Just leaving the car park here at the Anchor to rejoin the A1. The road bends twice to follow the old bridge across the river. Relatively sharp bends, given the nature of the fast traffic on the road these days. Bike and me together, about 41 stones in weight. Over the River Great Ouse we go. The old bridge didn't move a bit. YouTube is my store of motorcycling memories. If you'd like to join me on another ride, just like and subscribe, and you'll then know when I'm next out and about. For now, I'm done.